Now, this is a movie about how you make a drawing. First, you click over here on New. Then you scroll down to More, Google Drawings. So you slide over to Google Drawings. And then when you're here, you can make the background white because it looks kind of checkered. So you have to hold down the Control key on the left side of your keyboard. It's not the Apple key. When you hold down Control and click, that's like right-clicking, but on a Mac. So background is what you want, and you slide over to the last block, which is invisible, and it's white. So now I have a white background. And now I can start drawing. I'm going to get a text box, the T tool, and just click and type Parts of a Flower by Chris Donahue. Now I can go to the Shapes tool, which is a circle and square, and I could choose a shape for my first flower, and I'm going to make a sunflower. So I clicked and dragged diagonally. Now, with it still lit up, I'm going to choose a color. That's my sunflower. Now I'll make another one. I can click away from it out in the gray space and go choose another one. I'm going to make a flower that looks like a burst. So I'm going to click and drag again, and I'm going to go to the little fill. It looks like a paint can spilling paint. That's what it's supposed to be anyways. Now if I don't want the black edges, I can go to the pen tool and choose transparent. And finally, you can use your imagination for flowers. I would try, you can maybe make a heart and make a small heart for one petal of a flower. And then you can do Apple D or Command D and tilt, and Command D again and tilt. You can use the little circle as a turning handle to tilt this, and it's very interesting when you use that to make a flower. Now, one last flower. Think outside the box, think with your imagination. You can use something like even the multiply. If you click and drag, color it, make two of them with Apple D or Command D and tilt it. And you can see that you can get kind of a posy that way. And you can even alternate the colors a little differently if you want to. So now what about stems? Well, this line tool looks like a straight line. The teeny tiny triangle next to it. Let's zoom in on that. Teeny tiny triangle next to it has scribble underneath it. And that is what you need. You need scribble. Now I'm going to click and drag to make a stem. And I'll color it green. And I can make it thicker. There's a thickness here. It's called line weight. And I could do Apple D to make another one. Oops. Apple Z for undo. I guess I still have the scribble tool live, so I'll just go crazy with the scribble tool. I'll go back and delete that other one later. When I get the arrow tool up here next to scribble, that's how I can click on something and then hit the delete key. Now, what about the dirt? I need to get the rectangle, which is the first piece, and I need to drag across and make the dirt. And you could choose your own favorite dirt color. Then I'll go back and get roots, and these can be black or white, whatever you want to do for roots. And you only have to make one complete flower for my assignment. You don't have to make 3 or 4. It's up to you. And then the final piece is leaves. So I'm going to go back to shapes and I choose the teardrop, But honestly, anything that looks like a leaf, you can choose. So this is my leaf, and I'm going to do apple D to make another leaf. And some flowers might have two. And some flowers you might want to make one on the other side, in which case you can turn it with the circle. Or go back and get it and make another one. So those are my leaves. The last piece you should do for this assignment is label things. Leaves. Get the T-tool. Petals. Get the T-tool. Stem. Get the T-tool. Roots. And I said that was the last thing, but actually up here in the corner it says untitled, and you really should name this before you start or before you finish, because you don't want to forget what you made here. You want to name it. Even if you named it here, you still have to name it up here. So this is how I drew the parts of a flower, and you could play this movie again as many times as you want.